Well, good morning, everybody. This is Bob Allen, and we're here with Good Morning Santa Paula. And we're privileged to be in the office of Chief Steven McLean, Chief of Police of Santa Paula. Chief, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And I think you have something to say about Measure F on the ballot that's coming up this November 4th. Is that correct?
I do.
How about sharing that and your thoughts and explaining to the viewing public what it's about and how it affects the police department and the city of Santa Paula?
Okay, thank you. Measure F is a proposed 1% sales tax that will generate $1.6 million annually, 50% for police departments, 25% for fire departments, and 25% for roads and streets. From my perspective, Measure F is a game changer. What I'd like to do is talk about some facts. Some of the facts in itself are reason enough to vote for Measure F, but I think that after everybody's heard all the facts, I feel pretty confident that they will vote for Measure F. Let's talk about the police department. The minimum number of officers per 1,000 residents recommended is 1 officer per 1,000. City of Santa Paula has about 34,000 residents, some say 40,000. We only have 28 cops. And I'd like to break down that 28 cops. If you remove the administration, the detectives, the supervisors, what we actually have is 11 police officers patrolling our streets daily for over 30,000 residents. Out of those 11 cops, 6 of them have been here less than 6 months. 50% of our patrol force has less than 6 months experience. The reason is because of the pay, 1/3 of this police department had left in the last 5 years to go to other police departments that pay higher pay. Santa Paula Police Department is the lowest paid police department in Ventura County. It's shameless. In fact, they make about 43% less than the next lowest police department. I think that we can do better. We have in this community more parolees than we have cops. We've got 6 gangs in Santa Paula. We've got 3 times more gang members than we have police officers. In the last year and a half, we've had 9 murders. All the murders were committed by gang members. Most of those gang members were on parole. We've got the highest rate of gangs per capita in Ventura County. We've got more parolees per capita in Ventura County. When I got here a little over a year ago, we had one of the highest rates of violence in Ventura County. Out of the 9 murders, 4 of those murders were women. All 4 of those women were innocent victims. We had a mother in her home just doing her daily business with her kids when a couple of gangbangers decided to get in a gun battle in broad daylight in the middle of the street where kids were playing. And a stray bullet went into her house, missed her son's head by an inch, hit her in the neck, and she dropped dead in front of her 2 sons.
Wow.
We had another mother who angered a gang member, and he went to her home, broke open her front door, and put a bullet in her head and murdered her. We had a 21-year-old female, Ashley Calanche, over at a local park. She was into photography and she was trying out a new lens. Well, she ran into a monster that day and she got murdered at the park, right in front of some of her loved ones. She had children. We had 21-year-old Ashley Moran, who was taken to a park, murdered in a park, dumped there like a piece of trash. Ashley Moran was pregnant. I've been in law enforcement for 34 years, and I've never seen anything like it. I've seen over 100 homicides. Usually, it's gang member murdering gang member. But these bastards are murdering our women. It's outrageous. So, Measure F, like I said, is a game changer. If it passes, it will give us a competitive pay raise where we can get experienced cops, highly skilled, highly trained, and in addition, we'll keep the ones that we have. Right now, we've become a training ground for all the other police departments. They come here, they train, and then they leave. And by the way, the 10 veterans that left, that represented over $1 million investment. That money is gone. Measure F will allow me to expand this police department by 8 cops. With those 8 cops, I'll be able to double my gang unit to continue to focus on the gang members who are committing all the violence in this community. By the way, since I've been here, we've been able to reduce gang violence by 30%. We've been able to track down 7 of 9 murder suspects. So we know we have a good gang strategy, and we've had a lot of success, but I just don't have enough cops. In addition to doubling my gang unit, I'll be able to put more detectives to start working some of these cases that are just sitting there. Another aspect of Measure F that I like is that some of that money has to be used for gang intervention. I can't arrest my way out of the situation that we're in. Arresting gang members is not a long-term strategy. It's what I have to do right now to get the violence under control.
So what you're saying is that Measure F funds, some of it must be used to go and work on the gang violence problem itself.
Absolutely. From a long-term strategy, we've got to address the issue of why a young kid wants to grow up to be a gangbanger or a drug dealer or a burglar. Some of this money has to be used for gang intervention, and there's some very good programs out there. And so that is another aspect of Measure F. It's not just pay raises for cops, it's expanding this police department by almost a third, and then money for youth programs to help these kids back on track.
How would the sales tax raise, be compared to other cities in Ventura County?
Well, Measure F would generate about $800,000 a year for the police department. And my goal is not to make these guys the highest paid police officers in Ventura County. No. All we want to do is just be competitive. Just put them in the game.
Well, you also want to keep them here.
And we want to keep them here.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's important to put this tax in perspective. Is a McDonald's hamburger is $4.80, about there. If you vote for Measure F, it'll be less than 5 cents. And for that nickel, I'll be able to expand this police department, double my gang units, and finally drive these criminals out of our city. We've had gangs here for 25 years now. If we don't do something now to deal with the gang problem here, then your children and your grandchildren will be dealing with this problem.
Well, Chief, I think that I see it, and I know that our viewers are going to see it. The passion with which you talk about is really towards making Santa Paula a safer place to live. And we couldn't congratulate you more for trying to do that. Is there any opposition being supplied against Measure F by any groups?
That's a good question. Right now, there is no formal opposition. In fact, I drive around this town every day, and you will not see one no on F sign. All you'll see will yes on F. In the last several weeks, I've spoken to every organized group in this city, every one of them, and every one of them supports Measure F. We've been endorsed by the Chamber of Commerce. We've been endorsed by the Economic Development Committee. We've been endorsed by Latino Town Hall. There is no doubt in my mind, and I feel very confident, and I say this as humbly as I can, that if Measure F passes, it will be a game changer, and I will be able to drive these criminals out of this community, and we'll go back to the safe community we were years ago. It's an absolute game changer.
Well, Chief, I'm glad that we are able to be here to try and help you get this message out to the voting public, in Santa Paula. And I can't thank you enough for being here and the passion that you have for making our community a little safer place.
Thank you.